Do you ever feel like there just aren't enough hours in the day? That no matter how hard you work, you're constantly falling behind? If yes, you're not alone. Yet he built one of the most valuable companies on earth, revolutionized multiple industries, and left a legacy that still inspires billions. So how did he do it? How did he squeeze the most out of each day? But what if I told you that one of the greatest visionaries of our time, Steve Jobs, had secrets to mastering time, secrets that didn't just help him manage his day, but helped him change the world? And today I want to share with you the powerful mindset and habits Steve Jobs used to manage time not just efficiently, but brilliantly. Steve Jobs wasn't a magician. He had the same 24 hours as the rest of us. It wasn't about doing more things. It was about doing the right things. You need more clarity. Clarity on what's essential, clarity on what you stand for, and clarity on the difference between being busy and being productive. What are you saying yes to out of fear, guilt, or pressure? Every second of your day is a trade. You're trading your time, your life for something. Is it worth it? Was vision? Steve Jobs didn't let the world dictate his schedule. His dreams dictated it. He started each day with the end in mind. He knew what he was building. He knew where he wanted to go. That's not just a motivational quote, it's a mindset. A mindset that reminds us, every second wasted is a second you never get back. You're not running out of time, you're spending it. You need to stop glorifying being busy and start glorifying being effective. Every scroll, every distraction, every yes that should have been a no, a commitment to yourself, a commitment to your values, a commitment to excellence. That's how Steve Jobs lived. Not perfectly, but intentionally. Because true clarity comes when your mind isn't being pulled in 100 directions. Create space in your schedule for thinking, for vision, for strategy. It's costing you, and the invoice is your dream. What you need is what Steve Jobs had: clarity, simplicity, focus, and an unshakable urgency to create before your time runs out. If you want to build something extraordinary, you've got to treat your time like Steve Jobs did, as the most sacred currency of your life. Be ruthless. Be brilliant. And that purpose made him ruthless with his time. But urgency. The urgency of someone who knew that time was the most valuable thing he had. And that's what drove his discipline. That's what gave him the strength to say no. To cut meetings short, to simplify, to focus on brilliance instead of busyness. Jobs treated time like it was more precious than money, because it is. That's how Jobs lived, and that's how you must live if you want to truly manage your time and unlock your greatness. You can make more money, you'll never make more time. He poured his focus like a laser beam onto the task in front of him. He lived by intention, one moment, one task, one obsession at a time. When he was in a meeting, he was present. When he was designing, he was immersed. That kind of intense focus is rare, but it's powerful. Steve Jobs mastered his time by saying no more often than he said yes. Because every no he gave protected his time, energy, and creativity for the things that actually moved the needle forward. First, Jobs believed in radical focus. He once said, "People think focus means saying yes to the thing you've got to focus on. But that's not what it means at all. It means saying no to 100 other good ideas. Let that sink in." Time management is not about cramming your schedule. It's about protecting your attention from things that don't matter. But simplicity wasn't just for products, it was for his life. He removed clutter from his day, from his decisions, even from his wardrobe. Why? Because every decision you make drains energy? He eliminated the unnecessary so he could focus fully on what mattered. Ask yourself right now, what are you doing today that you don't need to do? The second lesson, simplicity. One of Apple's core values under Jobs was simplicity. This is why Jobs famously wore the same black turtleneck and jeans every day. It wasn't about fashion, it was about freeing up mental energy. Most people waste hours agonizing over small choices. Jobs conserved his brain power for choices that really mattered. And here's the truth, you don't need more time. Another key to Steve Jobs' time mastery was his deep work ethic. Jobs didn't multitask his brilliance. He didn't juggle 5 things at once. Too often we pride ourselves on being good multitaskers. But science has proven multitasking lowers performance. Jobs didn't chase productivity hacks. He also had a habit of constantly asking one question: is this worth my time? Think about that. But maybe the most powerful time management habit Jobs had. When you have a clear purpose, distractions lose their power. The noise fades. You stop being reactive and start being intentional. He once gave a speech where he said, "Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose." That's why Jobs lived with urgency, not panic, not stress. So here's your wake-up call: you need to guard it. You need to question everything you do, make time for stillness. Jobs was known for long walks where he'd just think, in silence. Without screens, without noise. And remember, time management isn't a skill, it's a commitment. So now the question is, how will you live? Will you let distractions define your day, or will you define your time with purpose? Will you react to life, or will you create your future? Will you continue to chase busy, or will you choose brilliance? You don't need a new app. You don't need another planner. The clock is ticking. Not to pressure you, but to remind you, you are here to do something great. Don't waste another second. Start today, be intentional. Because like Steve Jobs proved, when you master your time, you can change the world.